So just let me know, can you guys see my screen or not?
Yes,
Hmm?
sir, visible है.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. So let's start today with the little bit of wireless fundamental topics such as your what is radio frequency and all. Okay. Just have a look up for all of this stuff. Okay. These topics are very simple. Okay. These are actually totally theoretical based topics. That's why I'm not taking too much of time on these things. Okay? So let's just give me a moment. Yeah. So see now. So just try to understand the topic which we will do today is your wireless fundamentals about the network, about wireless network. Network which is my wireless. Okay. So I'm just gonna give you the names of all of those first of all. Okay. So do you know on which standards our wireless networks works? Okay. So basically our wireless networks work on the standard 802.11 IEEE standards. Make sure this first of all. Okay. You all have to keep this thing in mind that the wireless fundamental which we are using for wireless is your 802.11 IEEE standards. Okay. Under these standards, we have various standards with different frequencies, such as just let's suppose there are some standards frequency and your maximum data at which data maximum data rate. So basically the standards which we are having right now in our wireless are 802.11, which is working on a frequency which is 2.4 gigahertz and its speed is about 2 Mbps. And then just move on to next is 802.11b 2.4 gigahertz and the speed is about 11 Mbps. Then comes the next standard, which is your 802.11a having speed around 5 gigahertz and the speed is near about 54 your Mbps. And then comes your next standard, which is your 802.11 G, which is working on a frequency on 2.4 gigahertz, and its speed is around 54 Mbps. Then comes 802.11 N. It works 2.5 to 5 gigahertz, and its speed is around 600 Mbps. This is your maximum data rate, which I'm talking about. Then comes next is your 802.11C, which is around 5 gigahertz, and its speed is around your, if I'm not wrong, is 6.93 Gbps. So just you can check it out. Okay. As far as I know, the speed is this. And the last one would be our 802.11 AX 2.4 5 6 gigahertz. And the and speed is around again. You could just have to speed. I'm not sure for the speed. Speed is around, four times of uh, four times of this speed. Okay, just multiply this speed with the you will get your answer. Okay. So this is the 802 point standards which we are working for wireless. Is it fine till here? Anyone
Yes.
Yes,
having
sir.
any issue? Okay, now.
No.
So under the wireless, so wireless networks are some networks which are regulated by international bodies. So wireless networks, they are regulated by international bodies as well as your national bodies. Okay. Every country has their own national body. So these are regulated by these things. Okay. And how it works basically. So now basically you have to keep in mind, first of all, is just signal, or you could say signal range. Like for example, the coverage area must the what is the coverage area basically? Okay. So now it depends upon the coverage area. How much area does our signal covers? Okay. Then the next would be your signal range. So these are some factors which you have to keep in mind while establishing a wireless connection. And the last one is your is signal can be absorbed, signal absorption. Okay, signal refraction, etc. Okay, and so while doing this, we have to keep this thing in mind. And the thing next thing is would be whether other devices are using the same channel or not, because same channel can cause interference. Okay, this is the biggest drawback. So let's have cover about issues. What are the issues which we're gonna face while establishing a wireless network? The first issue is let's suppose what happened. The devices, all the devices which are within the range of network, they receive the frame. As like we did the device hub. Okay, what happens in hub? A data is sent from one point and it's received on the all the other points. Same thing can be done with this. Okay, let's suppose there's a range area. There are Wi-Fi signals. Okay, there is a mobile one within the range. There's a mobile two within the range, and there's a mobile three within the range. So all those mobiles are getting to establish with this type of signal. Okay, so if anyone establishes this with this your signal and make sure it would be a hacker, so what can happen? It could lead to breach your data security. Okay, data privacy could be in a threat while working on your wireless network. Okay, so we use different technologies such as, one is your CSMA CA, and another one is your CSMA CD. I hope you are via you know these things. Have you ever known these things? This one, why we are using the CSEMA? Used for duplex communication. And where and CSEMADA, why we use to detect and recover from the collision. That's why we use this thing. Okay, so these are two standards which you have to keep in mind. Okay, okay. If you go for basic networking interview, they could ask you what's the difference between CSMA CA, and CSMA CD. Okay, clear?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Okay, now let's move forward. Okay, now. So let's know there are little Wi-Fi standards as well on which we work, such as your Wi-Fi standards on which we work. So broadly, we categorize into two parts. One is your 2.4 gigahertz band, and another one is your 5 gigahertz band. That 5 hertz gigabyte band, it is divided into four small bands. Okay, we don't have to go that much deep. Just keep in mind that this uh 5 gigahertz band is divided into four smaller bands. Okay, like this, and the range which we're gonna use in Wi-Fi is one is your 2.400 gigahertz to 2.4835 gigahertz. And this one is your 515.0 gigahertz to 5.825 gigahertz. And make sure these particular 2.4 gigahertz and they use channels 1, 6, and to 11. These channels they use. Okay, they're different channels. Okay, so don't, if you won't have any, if you have any kind of curiosity, you can go and have a look at those things. Okay, now one thing we will learn how these signals will travel. The signals will travel in the form of your radio frequencies. Radio frequency, such as like this. Right, this is your magnetic field. The maximum strength of an electric magnetic field is your amplitude. Let me show this. No, it is your draw, and your draw is the bottommost, and the topmost. Just check it out. Okay, just give me a second. Uh, Analog signals. So, you see these are the analog signals, and amplitude is from top to bottom. This one is your one frequency. Where is the analog signal explanation is? The topmost, the bottommost is your draw. Yeah, and the topmost is your crust. Yeah, I got it. The top one is known as your crust. Just a second. The top one is known as your crust, and the bottommost is your known as, these all are your trough. These all are your trough. This is your crust, like this. And this is your amplitude, the highest to the lowest. This one is known as your amplitude. And these are your electromagnetic waves, which we measure in terms of amplitude. Okay, and what happens, it sends the digital signals. There is a absorber, it absorbs the signal. Okay, let's suppose there is a sender and there is a receiver. The signal is sent like this, and there's a receiver, and it receives all the signals. Same way, there is a sender as well. It sends all the signals to a receiver. This is your sender. Like this, our wireless networks works. Is it fine? Tell me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you just have to
Once
keep basics in the mind. That's all. Okay, you don't have to take a deep dive. Just basics. Okay, don't go that much deep. Okay,
Yeah.
clear?
Okay.
Any issues still here?
Yes.
No,
Yes
No.
or no?
no, sir. No
Okay, now
Yeah.
issues.
so
No. No. No.
exactly, now let's move on. Next part is your wireless security. Next thing which we will focus on is your wireless security. Okay, so now in wireless, what is a wireless security? It is because why we're gonna use it is because wireless signals are not contained within wire. And any device within the range can receive the traffic. That's what I just told you. The biggest threat issues in wireless network. This one. All the devices which are within the range can receive the frame. The frame could be flooded on the networks, as in the case of hub. Okay, so now what we have to do? We have to encrypt the data. So in wireless security, it is important, to encrypt the traffic, and send between wireless clients and your APs. APs means access points, like this. Okay, fine, Talia. And
Yes, sir.
Yes,
what
sir.
we have to keep in mind, while we are working with this wireless security, that there are three things. Okay, one is your authentication, another one is your encryption, and the last one is your integrity. These three things which we have to keep while working on wireless standards. Okay, the first one is your authentication. What does authentication means? Okay, and how we're gonna provide it? Now see, if we are working on authentication, what are the issues with authentication? Okay, the first thing is like, for example, it is not secure. Not secure and and can easily cracked. Okay, the next thing is your wire equivalent privacy. Wired equivalent privacy. It provides both authentication. It provides both authentication and your encryption to wireless network. And encryption to wireless networks. Okay, just have to keep these 2 points in your mind, and that's all. Nothing more than that. Then go for next one is your encryption, because we have various methods of encryption. Just gonna tell you what are those. One is your lightweight EAP. Lightweight EAP, like this. First one. The next one is your EAP fast. Third one is your PAEP. And the last one is your EAP TLS. Okay, you guys can search their full forms on the net. Okay, because they're not that much important. Okay, and the last one which we will focus on is your integrity. And what does integrity means? Integrity message. It means messages not modified by third party, like this. Messages are not modified by our third party. Okay, and so these little things, and one more which we have to keep in mind is the Wi-Fi protected access. Wi-Fi protected access. Okay, there are basically 3 certifications. Basically, how many certifications do we have? We have 3 certifications for wireless devices. One is your WPA, one is your WPA2, and one is your WPA3. Under all of these, we have 2 authentication modes. Okay, the first mode is your personal mode. And why we are using personal mode? Personal mode is used to connect home Wi-Fi enter password and are authenticated. This one. And one more point for it uses personal mode uses 4-way handshake. 4-way handshake has been used in this criteria. Okay, and the next one is your enterprise mode. Under the enterprise mode, authentication for radius server. As we've already covered radius and tacus in the last class, so I'm just putting the name of the radius server. Okay, not more than, you don't have to go beyond that. Just keep in your mind. Okay, and I think we have discussed the security fundamentals in the last class. Okay, you were there in the last class, if I'm not wrong. We and AK, you were there in the last class, no?
Yes, yes. Last
we
class was
and we have discussed your security fundamentals, if I'm not wrong.
yes,
Which
yeah.
one, sir?
Security fundamentals. Security fundamentals.
Yes.
Okay. Now, so just keep in mind how we're gonna establish our wireless architecture. We have 3 kind of APs. Okay. Just to give you an insight in the wireless architecture.
Sir,
Yes.
TACAC लास्ट क्लास और टुडे आज की क्लास में बोले या लास्ट क्लास में बोले सर टैक्स के बारे में?
Last class में बोला था.
लास्ट क्लास मींस फ्राइडे ना सर?
Last class means Friday. हाँ, एकदम सही बोला. Okay.
तो
One we have autonomous APs. On one side, I have lightweight APs. And the one I have is your cloud-based APs. So these are the 3 APs which will help me to form a wireless architecture. Just keep this in your mind. Okay, don't have to go that much deep. Okay, and yeah, these are the things. Okay, autonomous APs, lightweight APs, and cloud-based APs. Okay, just with the help of these three, we will be able to establish our wireless architecture. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you just have to keep in mind. And one more thing, if you want to study, so you can study one of the things which is known as your service sets. If you want to, if you guys want to read this thing, you can go for, they are 802.11 defined. Okay, this is a standard which defines different kind of services. Just a second. Yeah. It's kind of services, and which are those wireless, wireless, wireless network devices. These are for wireless network devices. Okay, the one is known as your IPSS. The other one is your known as your ESS. One is your MBSS, and one more is your, the fourth one is your BSS. Okay, I'm just gonna give the full form of all of those. First one is your IBSS. IBSS is your independent basic service set. Okay. Okay, and why we are gonna use it? For file transfers. This one is used for your file transfers. Okay, and why we're going to use this IBSS? It is used when wireless networks in which two or more wireless device are connected without using an access point. Like for example, the way we used to connect our phones with the Wi-Fi, okay, without the help of access points. This is your IBSS, Independent Basic Service Set, the first one, okay. And the yeah, and the one more we have is your one more. Okay, just let me add some slides. Okay, and the next thing which we will keep in mind is your BSS. Sorry. Second is your BSS. BSS is your basic service set. And why we're gonna use it? Okay, it's kind of an infrastructure. Okay, make sure it's a kind of an infra. Okay, in which clients clients connect to each other via access point. but not directly. Next one, the third one. Third one is your extended service set. And under this, why we're going to use to create large wireless LAN beyond the range of single access point. Okay, like for example, you are going to connect, it consists of, this network is consist of multiple BSS, which is your basic service set. Okay, and the last one is your, this is your MBBS, which is your, so its full form is MASH basic service set, like this. Why we're gonna use it? Can be used in a situation where it is difficult to run a ether connection to every access point. Okay, and the one which we have all discussed, keep in your mind, what is that? The one which I've discussed just now with you, one is your independent, the one is your infra, and the one which is your mesh. Make sure they share same SSID, and they are, and the SSIDs are human readable. Okay, and need not to be. Okay, so just keep these things in mind. Okay, well, although we have discussed it, just go through and have a look at the wireless architecture which we have discussed: autonomous APs, lightweight APs, and cloud-based APs. Okay, that's more than enough for you guys for the CCN level. Okay. Okay, so that's all for today's class. Okay, as you know, we are approaching towards the end. Okay, so in tomorrow's class we will do the network automation. Okay, so I will just introduce a little bit part of the network automation to you guys. Okay.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
sir, can you show me the fifth PPT? Because I have joined the late. I don't know.
Don't
what
worry.
was it.
Don't worry. You can go through the PPTs once. Okay, after the class, I will share it with them. If you have any doubts, you can ask me tomorrow. That's not a big issue.
Sir, one more thing. Last time we haven't discussed about TACAC, sir.
We can discuss it tomorrow. Don't worry. This we are not ending in the classes. Okay. I can discuss it because I have to discuss the NTP server as well. With
Okay.
NTP I can discuss it. Okay. Don't worry.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Bye bye. Bye bye everyone. Let's meet tomorrow.
Good night, sir.
Yes,
Thank you.
Good night. Welcome. Bye bye.
Okay.